everybody, Susan Finch here, your host for All Volunteer, All Heart from Binky Patrol, also the founder, and I am surrounded by greatness. I am surrounded by some of my very best friends in the planet, and you are going to hear their stories. These are the directors of Binky Patrol. We have Terrie Madruga, who is hailing from Idaho, Meridian. Carolyn Berndt, who is a director and is hailing from Thousand Oaks today. Carolyn, right?
Yep.
Okay. Miriam Siegel, another director in Nebraska, currently, not for good. And
Right.
then Jeanne Malgioglio from Connecticut. And she's our newest director. So welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. I love seeing your faces.
Hi, Susan.
It's 30 years. Can you believe it? Okay, Miriam, kick it off.
I'll kick it off. Welcome, everybody. Here's my story for Binky Patrol. I had been working in Laguna Beach for a few years, and I always liked to wander around at lunch and find new places and stuff. And I always picked up the local paper, the 8-page local news. And I was reading in a very small article, written, of course, by Susan, would you like to come sew some blankets for people who need them? And I went in and I called my mom immediately. I was still on my break. Go, Mom, I found this thing. What do you think? She goes, it sounds perfect. It sounds perfect. So I went to the first meeting, instant rapport with the few people that were there. And my mom supported Binky and all of us through Binkathons, sewing on labels and all kinds of wonderful things. And it's been a while since she passed, but about 2 months ago, I found an old box of her jewelry. And I went through it, and she still had one of the original Binky buttons.
Aww.
She wore it proudly, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, make me cry some more, Mom. That's good. But from that very first meeting, it grew to be such a great part of my heart, and I met wonderful people that I'm still friends with, and sometimes it's been challenging. I'll let somebody else talk about the blue plaid fabric. But it's been quite the ride, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you to the rest of the board of directors for all your support too.
Well, we love you, Miriam. I mean, so grateful for you. And even moving away to Nebraska, we still managed to get together last year for Carolyn's wonderful wedding.
Yes.
And
yes.
for our other get together that we did with June with some of the local chapters.
Right. That was wonderful.
And some of us are getting together again in September at Carolyn's.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I don't think we can get enough of each other. And even when sometimes, like, Terrie sometimes will have to say, I gotta go away for a little bit because I'm moving, I'm doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
And yet she just snaps right back and it's like she never left. And so it's been beautiful to watch these relationships endure.
Yes.
And to see how things go. Carolyn, you want to talk about that day on my doorstep? You were pregnant?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's when we first met you.
I first found out about Binky Patrol. I was working for Ingram Micro at the time, and I got on their philanthropic committee, and we had a small budget that once a quarter we would, give funds to local charities. And I heard about Binky Patrol. I'm like, oh, this place seems pretty cool. All right, I'll check it out. And I was pregnant with my first child, who's going to be 29 in November. And being the crazy woman that, I'm thinking, oh, I'll be on maternity leave. I'll have so much free time on my hands. So I reached out to Susan at I think 8 months pregnant, probably waddled in. I'm like, I'm here to help. Can't sew, but here I am. Was given the task of cutting squares, and then I was quickly removed from that task because I can't cut straight lines.
Yeah, maybe
so
some
I was tasked with fleece blankets and public speaking,
which you did well.
Perfect.
Well, okay. To be fair, though, to you, my mom and I didn't cut squares well either.
Okay.
And we were using cereal boxes as our template and cutting one square at a time.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Until we were enlightened with the beauty of a rotary cutter, a clear ruler, and strips.
Yeah.
We knew nothing.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing with those squares, like you just did over there, was going to Race for the Cure several years and having people color on the squares. I loved that so much. I loved meeting the people who were, inspired to participate in Race for the Cure and to help Binky Patrol through that. And that, just still one of my favorite Binky memories.
These are my favorite events. I mean, I love the Binkathons, but they're a lot of work. But this was a 2-hour event or an hour and a half event.
Yeah.
So we showed up, set up 3 tables, 2 sewing machines, and a whole bunch of blue tape. Okay, here's a tip. Never use that green frog tape.
Ever. No.
It never comes off of anything.
Oh,
Use the blue painter's tape.
Blue painter's tape. Yes.
These kids, I think Carolyn too, what was so fun is to tell these kids what they're doing and why.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
And to watch them get it.
Right.
And to express it through simple drawing that they had so much fun doing, but they knew, and the parents still weren't getting it. But as soon as they see them assembled and hung up, everything got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm working with 2 girls and 24 in her Girl Scout troop, 24. And she says, we want to do this. We're going to do this more. I said, okay. And the whole school said, we want to do this more. I said, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing is talking to the Girl Scout troops and doing my Binkathon, which is with a junior high. Those are my favorite is having the kids work with help the kids.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Kids helping kids. We'll get back to Girl Scouts in a minute. Terrie, how about your origin story?
Oh, my origin comes from when my son was in, I think he was like 3 years old. I wanted to make him a quilt. I've always been crafty. So I found this pattern that was called the bug jar quilt. And every jar had a different bug in it, So he and I went shopping back in the days when we had a fabric store next to us and picked out all the fabrics together and got them all together. And then I signed up for a class on how to make a quilt, right? And when you go to a quilting class, the first day you're learning how to just line up your patterns and pick out your designs. I come from the class the first day. Is my blanket done? And I'm like, no, we're not there yet. The second week, is my blanket done? No, we're not there. But when it got done, he cherished that blanket. I still have it in my bedroom. But it was like I did that, and I thought he enjoyed it so much. And I only have the one child, and all of our nieces and nephews were all older. But I wanted to be able to give back and make more quilts, and so did my friends. So we thought, oh, we'll start a 501c, and then we found out how difficult that is. And then I did some research and found Binky Patrol, and we were all hooked. It was a way for people to do as little or as much as they wanted. I had friends that say, oh, I have no talent at all. I said, well, guess what? You're a delivery manager then. You're a distribution manager.
You're PR.
There you go.
Yeah. I can't do that either. Well, guess what? You can do thank yous. You're our communication manager, And the beauty about making everybody a manager, you can buy everybody business cards and they got a great title, but and everybody had a purpose. I have a couple friends who swore they couldn't sew, swore they couldn't do it. I said, all you got to do is make a straight line. It's so simple, we showed, and they have made some of the most beautiful quilts, and just their artistic ability of matching colors that they never knew they had. The friends that you make along the way, the high school students that need to do volunteer work. I think a lot of our interaction had to do with the Disney Give a Day, Get a Day program.
Oh my gosh.
Way back. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Me and a couple of my friends at work, we thought, wow, we can open up an opportunity for 100 kids. Let's try that. And it was filled up in 5 minutes. Oh, let's open up another one. So we kept doing this. And then it dawned on us, those blankets have to get turned in to us. And they're going to have to end up on the porch. And so we end up telling all the neighbors that, these deliveries can be coming. And it was like a caravan all day long of people just dropping off blankets. I wanted to know that it wasn't a drug dealer, to people coming up to my house with bags.
Those are big bags of drugs.
Yeah, they're running up to the porch, let them know the traffic that was going to be happening. And we got thousands and thousands of blankets by doing that. And, thankful to the company I worked for, Delta Dental, that ended up helping us with shipping those. At the time, we had a disaster that went off, not a national one, but a disaster that went off it was a hurricane that went on, but it wasn't in the United States.
No.
It was outside the United States.
Yeah.
But they did the shipping of all of that.
Okay.
And that's when we found that there are a lot of churches that do shipping a lot to different areas of the United States, that the shippers that have a pallet that isn't full, they would put our blankets on those pallets for free. So there was just creative ways to get things done. And, I think some of the stories that I cherish the most are the neighbors that were going through something and needed a blanket and
Yeah.
said, I can really feel the love that's in this blanket. I don't know how you guys do it, but it's sewn with love, and
Yes.
then that made another relationship and somebody else who wanted to give back. So it just keeps just multiplying in the giving. And I think we're at something like 55,000 blankets for our chapter. It just
Wow.
and I've been doing, because I've been working full time up until last month, I've been mainly Binky's in, Binky's out. Binky's on the porch.
Yep.
I have somebody that does deliveries and, just tracking it that way. But the relationships you make along the way are just
Mhm.
incredible.
Okay, that brings us to Jeanne, because Jeanne is dying to talk about pallets. And
Oh,
because she is the pallet queen over in Connecticut of getting
no,
things
that's Al.
shipped. So our new the baby of the bunch directors is Jeanne. We visited with Barb, and we know your story that you started with Sandy Hook. So I'm going to ask you to shift, because this is the biggest challenge for our chapters when we put those SOS calls out there. It's the shipping. We can get blankets, but shipping kills us, and it's expensive. I sent a bumpy envelope. I'm not joking, a bumpy envelope that was no thicker than this or bigger, and it cost $9
Yeah.
because the post
Mhm.
office is cracked down. So, Jeanne, can you tell us, how did, I know you were blessed with finding Al, but talk to me about pallets and collaborating, and how do we find collaborators and stuff?
Al DeGuido runs a nonprofit a few towns away, and normally what he does is he does these huge meal assemblies. But Al knows a lot of people with very big wallets, and he has a lot of connections. So he has jumped in from time to time, even before my chapter existed. He went out at North Dakota, Nebraska, wherever there was an emergency. He'd go out with supplies. He'd collect the supplies, and he would get them out there. Whether he runs a truck and takes it on himself, or he does know someone who works at a warehouse and is able to loan their truck, and their truck is half full, like someone said before. So they fill the rest with the supplies. So he was able to get the blankets out to Altadena. And he told me, he goes, Jeanne, if I give you a big check, can you get us 500 blankets? I'm like, you sure? So we did that. We had a couple of really fast events, and then while he was collecting school supplies, and some lady donated the truck. She works for a trucking company. They donated it and got it across country. For smaller things, like the most recent one to Mississippi, I did one out of, I left some funds that I have. I sent one box, and then I put out the ask, because if you don't ask, you don't get. I put out the ask. I said, does someone want to take a box and ship it for me? And so someone donated, the money. They just took the box from me. So that's how we were able to get 2 boxes out. But
Mhm.
I find that if people, not everyone is handy, but everyone wants to help. So, I mean, if they want to help with the shipping, go right ahead.
Shipping's big. We've been fortunate because Intel employees get a big discount at FedEx. So whenever we have one contact us, it's usually
Mhm.
an offer to help us with that, which is fantastic. But you're right, we have to ask. And so it reminds me, I need to ask so I can get more blankets to Mississippi. You bring up so many memories for me. I found this envelope of photos. I'm you're resisting going and see this and remember this and hold them all up. But I found a photo of J.C. Carter ground fueling. Miriam and Carolyn, do you remember them?
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So
Oh
J.C.
my
Carter ground
gosh.
fueling in Costa Mesa
Yep.
used to ship our blankets
Yes.
anywhere we wanted and
Yes.
fabric
Yep.
for
Yep.
free, big boxes.
Wow.
We could
Yes.
do up to 6 a month, and they would just ship them.
That's
Because at
nice.
some point, here's some more memories. St. John Knits.
Yeah.
St.
God.
John, the designer,
Yes.
they wanted to help. So they trained the people that made their clothing on knitting machines and trained them making blankets.
Wow.
So we ended up with, I think it was about 3,000 blankets from them.
Beautiful. They were beautiful. Yeah.
Wow.
But you could
Mhm.
only use so many. So we were shipping them everywhere. And
Mhm.
I think of people that helped us with shipping. So JC Carter, Ground Fueling, Dale Turbush, he had a corporate FedEx account and they would let us ship 2 boxes a month. He's an artist in Arizona. And that I met from, I knew him from the gallery that I had, which is where Binky Patrol started. And there have been so many others. Wahoo's Fish Taco feeding us, doing our stickers, helping us with that.
Mm-hmm.
Printers, you talk about empty pallets. When people at print shops have pieces they're going to trim away, this printer would call us, tell us the dimensions, and we would quickly design something that could fit in the space. And then he would
Wow.
print it for us. So our first brochures were these little bitty gatefold, tiny little things.
Yeah.
And that's all we had because it was a
Oh
strip
my
that he had
gosh.
for us. Remember
Yeah, we
that?
had a
Yeah.
newsletter. We had a newsletter at one
Oh
time.
my gosh, we had news. Yeah, we used to mail 8-page newsletters. Lisa and I
Yeah.
would put those together
Yep.
and
Wow.
bulk mail them because I had those skills. And we
Oh
would
my
send
gosh.
those out. I have a whole box that I'm going to open on June 20th here at my house. And it was from Judy Ogle. Judy used to do our accounting. I used to work with her in the 80s. And she had a box that she shipped to me that just says scrapbook. I've never opened it.
Wow. Wow.
She sent it when I moved here.
Oh, wow.
So it's gonna be like a time capsule.
It
That's
is.
cool.
Oh, I can't wait. I
It didn't
can't
say
wait.
accounting, so I'm hoping there's fun stuff in there and not just a bunch of chapter reports or something.
That's right. Bank statements,
Yeah, no. But the newsletters, there was a time where we had 131 chapters when we started across the
Mhm.
country of
Yep.
varying sizes. And then as the economy shifted, 2008 really knocked us way down. COVID
Mhm.
knocked us down further, and we're trying to rebuild, and there's a lot more demand for people's time, and more people don't have time or funds.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a challenge. Carolyn, what are you seeing by you as far as community involvement? Have you seen it start to come back up again, or do you still see challenges?
Is a good question. I know I moved 4 years ago. I'm still really kind of getting my feet wet in terms of finding volunteers. I'm basically just reaching out to my friends who have been great,
Yeah.
but I haven't found a good volunteer base yet.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's this area, if it's the economy. I haven't really figured that out yet.
Ronnie and Ryan love making volunteer opportunities for people.
Yeah.
They're happy to do that. They'll get it going. They helped like 3 different chapters take off,
Wow. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
which has been fun. But I'm kind of with you, Terrie. I do like the, Binky's in, Binky's out. Drop them on the porch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Mhm.
and I'm finding that parents want something for their children to do, and now that we're getting into the summer, I'm going to be getting some fleece, and just that's something they can do at home. Doesn't
Mhm.
take a lot of skills to do, but it also, with them being able to binkies in and binkies out on the porch, they could do it on their own time frame. They could
Yeah.
do them at night. They could drop them off and still get their credit for their community service. So
Mhm.
it's a win-win
Mhm.
for all of us.
We've talked about this, separately and stuff, but I can't even begin to describe my gratitude that, 29, 30 years for you three. And Jean's just down for life. I mean, she's just, that's just it.
I'm not going anywhere.
No, she's my hit by a bus plan. She hates it when I say that, but but
Mhm.
tell me, and I'm not looking for anything to me. Your heart's with the mission. Why
Mhm.
stay this long with one mission?
I think you have made it to where it's very flexible. Kind of when you were talking about where I moved, there was a time I couldn't do much, but there's other times I can do a lot. So not putting the pressure on chapters to say, what have you done this month? What have you done? It's kind of work it in when you can. And just like any other volunteer opportunity, volunteer that works for you. So I think that flexibility has made me stay on for the long haul. And every time I have one opportunity where somebody's received binkies, kind of recharges you for the next one,
Mhm.
and what's the next gig we're going to do. And you're constantly reminded of something so simple that makes such a big difference. It's not just a blanket. Somebody thought of me. Somebody thought of you. It brings neighbors together as far as working on projects together. So
Mhm.
it just gives so much that it's not just a blanket.
I love to see kids paying it forward. That
Yep.
a lot of my students have
Mhm.
they've
Mhm.
received it, and then they'll be at the next event, or they'll be coming into my, because I teach. They'll be coming into my classroom. Do you have any material for me to make? I'm bored this weekend, so I love to see that. a lot of my younger students, they're off in college and now and stuff like that. So when they're home, they're surprising me at going to the blanket events and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool.
A big part of it for me is, Susie, your encouragement, no matter what. I mean, you are behind us 150%. If we say, hey, I need a break, or I want to do something different, show me this, you've been behind us 150%. Your mission statement is clear and concise. And I have met so many wonderful people and made the bestest friends of the world. And I just want to keep paying it forward as best I can. So thank you, Susie.
Well,
All right, now I'm
it's because of all
crying.
of you.
All right.
Well,
Now I'm crying.
it's because of everybody. I mean, I would just be sitting there making blankets by myself. But I will say, when we moved up to Oregon 20 years ago, so my chapter is celebrating 20 years too, up here, I had no fear. I knew when I felt like making friends, I could. And I could
Mhm.
find friends I would enjoy being around if they wanted to do Binky Patrol. It was like the
Right.
test. It's like, this is what I do. I mean,
Right. This is my life. Yeah.
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 and I found, and it took me actually a few years to really get it going. We started very small, but let's talk about Disney.
We had a story when we were in a new chapter. A girl in town died by suicide. So we got blankets. She was a cheerleader. She came through our school with a cheerleader. So we got blankets in bulk to the cheerleading team. 2 months later, the cheerleaders showed up at my school with blankets for paying it forward.
Oh,
Oh,
So,
that's
yeah.
wonderful.
that's very cool.
Mm-hmm.
But we see it over and over, you know.
Mhm.
I think about the people, you know, some shout outs. I ran across a photo of redheaded Jan Sure.
Oh, yes.
You
Yes.
know,
And Laura, kit
Laura.
maker Laura.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Virginia.
Virginia.
I just talked
Mhm.
to Lisa Cintron.
Oh,
Lisa
nice.
Hefner. Lisa Cintron. She's going to try and join us in Thousand Oaks, depending on
Oh,
her health.
nice.
Her health is pretty tough. And
Okay.
I sent a photo to who we affectionately call Bossy Patty,
Yeah.
Patty Duffner. Patty and her husband met, and one of their first dates was Binky Patrol.
Yep. Yep.
Oh,
And they have,
Yeah.
I don't know, like 6 kids or something, and have been together ever since. And I found a photo of Jerry sewing at an
Yeah.
event.
Yeah.
And I sent that to her, and she was so touched. So I said, make sure you can come, you know, in September. We would love to see you at the party. So
Absolutely.
it's all these, you know, lovely moments and people that have crossed our paths that would have never
Yes.
met. I look at the people from Reach Out Worldwide, that
Mm-hmm.
group. Al, the Ballin
Mm-hmm.
Foundation, the
Right.
guys at Wahoo's Fish Taco from early on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when Greg Smith, who's in, you know, he's in Eagle, Idaho, when he hired me as my last boss before I went for myself, he hired me and Binky Patrol, he said, and he helped us get our website and our printing and everything done. Lauren Price, who used to do our videos, is a client of mine still after all these
Is
years.
he really? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And, you know, so I'm meeting with him actually later today for a board meeting for his group. And it's just these people that we've been so blessed to meet and to keep. And
Mhm.
Lori, you know, our sweet Lori, who isn't, you know, she's an emeritus advisor now.
Right.
Those gifts. I think of Tiffany in New York. I think of Elaine Weiss and her mother in Texas, and all the
Mhm.
blankets they used to make. They're just certain,
Right.
you know, former chapters and things that just stand out.
Right. Yep.
You know, we have
St.
Ernie, we have
Edward.
Rita
Yep.
Blitt, we have people that, you know, retired from it all. We have
Mhm.
Angela Killingsworth, with Donna, our sweet
I was
Donna
gonna say
Serra,
Donna Serra.
one of our directors. She couldn't
Mhm.
make it today, but you know, Donna has taken on she is the label distributor and orderer
Oh,
and
Exactly.
encourager and
Exactly.
ships things, and you know, she's
Mhm.
always giving what she can and always
Yep.
has. If you guys want to give any shout outs to anybody from your group or from your paths.
Oh my gosh.
I
Past
don't
and
know where
present. Yeah. Past and present board of directors. Tom, Savannah, Austin.
yeah.
Um, the Carolyn and her family and all that who've uh, supported us and been behind us this whole time. It's made it just that much better. Wonderful.
give a shout out to Rebecca Beatty, who was my volunteer in Lincoln, who
Oh,
then,
yeah.
when I moved, she started her own chapter in Orangevale. She was very instrumental when we were doing all the mask making and getting
Oh
those
my
out to
God, I
folks and
remember
stuff.
that.
So yeah, but her and her mother started a chapter when I left, so it just multiplies in the giving.
Right.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
all
Yep.
the drop-off spots that jump in and help, and just let us open up a
Yeah.
corner of their place to make it even easier for people to get it to
Yeah.
us. And then plus, and I have a crew of good friends who are with me from the scarf days, Kay and Sue and stuff like that. And whatever we need, they're like, okay, what do you need next? And they just keep asking and offering.
That was a newer thing, thanks to you, Jeanne.
Well,
And
I
so
had to when I had 3,000 scarves coming in my.
Dana Polehill, when the chapter got turned over to Kimberly Legg in Temecula, and
Mhm.
received truckloads of fabric from that couple.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh
she still
my
gets it.
gosh.
I mean, she has regularly 100 to 200 blankets show up on her porch, probably
Wow.
3 times a month. Absolutely
Wow.
bonkers. It's so cool.
I don't
Wow.
get that many blankets on my couch on my doorstep anymore, but I love it because it's like Christmas. Like Jeanne, when you
Yes.
send me those blankets, it's so fun to open them and be like, "Hey, look how beautiful these are! I can't wait to give them out." And
It
Yes.
is fun.
Yeah.
So
Oh
what
my gosh.
thoughts do you guys want to leave everybody with?
thank you to everyone who supported us for so many years,
Yeah.
and thank you in
Mhm.
advance for
Oh,
them
and
continuing to
Hoffman.
support us and our new supporters when we find them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And Hoffman
Yes.
Fabrics.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
They even
Oh
let us do
yeah.
field trips there to
Who were
see
Yes.
how.
the pajama people? PJ Salvage.
Oh
PJ
yeah,
Salvage. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
PJ
True
Salvage.
Grit. True Grit.
Yep,
Oh yeah.
BB
Yes.
Dakota, Toes
Yep.
on the Nose Surf Shop.
Yep.
Remember that we had a storage unit, Jeanne, once that was, what was it, like a 20 by 20 storage or 15 by 20
Wow.
storage unit, and it
Mhm.
had a heap of fabric,
Yeah.
and we would just climb it to pull out what we wanted, or we would trade it with people that had fabric they didn't want, and they would come get
Yes.
the weird
Yes.
stuff, and then like Heidi Brunswick in Dana Point,
Yes.
she would pick up all the silky sheer weird things,
Yep.
and then she would leave us cotton and linens.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yes. Oh my gosh. Storage. Yes.
Yeah, I just remember climbing the mound.
Yes. Yes. And then looking down going, what is this? Yeah.
Yeah.
Or and I have to just mention the blue fabric and the plaid.
BB Dakota.
BB Dakota, the very beginning, we got this fabric
It was
donated
expensive. It
graciously.
was
Yeah.
beautiful woven fabric.
Very pretty. And, as a quilter, you're supposed to wash your fabric and then sew. And so I washed it all and I went to take it out and it was like this. It had just all wadded into a ball. And I tried my best. It was like a lost cause.
Oh
I
no.
It
never
was
washed
just
it.
between the thickness of the BB Dakota and the silky of the framing fabric. It just was like a ball of yarn. I don't know. But that was a very learning curve for the plaid framers fabric and the
It did
blue.
take us 10 years to go through it.
Yeah, we didn't give it,
Wow.
we didn't throw it away. We
Nope.
kept it. We
Nope.
kept it. Yep.
Up here we had one of the school uniform and police uniform companies gave us a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Shark keeps trying to take it back to storage. So you get that out of there.
Yeah. We don't
Get
want
it out of
back.
there.
That's
All this
right.
parochial school fabric. Nope.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Ugh.
Jeanne, any final thoughts?
Me. I'm just so grateful that I found this group. It just fills my cup. That's
Good.
what I'm leaving you with.
Happy to have you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Terrie, you?
So I think I walk away with don't be afraid to volunteer. Just because it's Binky Patrol and it's blankets, there's all kinds of jobs to do. So just put
Mhm.
your best foot forward and say, I want to help, and I'll find a job for you.
I think that's a great thing. Carolyn was the first example of that being the perfect fit for her and for us, what we needed.
Mhm.
That you tell us your skill. Wahoo made tacos. Okay, make us tacos.
Yeah.
Whatever your skill is, we will find a way to
Yep.
use it to help
Yes.
these
Exactly.
kids. So
Yeah.
you were absolutely right, Terrie.
Yeah.
let us know if you have the open heart and the willingness to help us.
Absolutely.
Tell us where your joy is, and we will find a way to put the two things together to help these kids.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Most people can drive. If we need things to go to the Ronald McDonald House, somebody's got to get them there.
Mhm.
You can be the person that drops them off. There's just so much that can be done.
I give
Yes.
hours for teens who check the drop-off spots for me. If I don't gotta have to drive 2 towns away once a week, go right ahead. You know?
Yeah, that is a great thing for them to do.
Yeah.
Just go check.
Yeah.
I like
Yep.
that. Yeah, Tom does that for me. He goes to all our senior centers that are making blankets now.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
His charming self, he'll go and go get them. All the ladies love it.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you, everybody. And, Terrie, I saw fingers crossed that you might say, okay, I'll come down. But can't wait to see everybody in September.
Yep.
It will be fun and to see who is able to join us, media, past volunteers, recipients. We're trying to get everybody, all the local chapters,
Nice.
whoever wants to show for that celebration. We would love to see you. So thank
Awesome.
you guys for, well, thank you all. And I love you very much. Find us at binkypatrol.org. Find us on all your favorite podcast apps. It's easy to change lives. Make blankets, make friends. These are my best friends. Make a difference. You can do it.
Yay. Okay.